pocket queens being the third best hand that I can get. I want some action, but I don't want to limp with this hand. So with a $120 pot, I'm going to put in, I'll just say 2 times the blinds for the purposes of this hand. So 220.
And because I have ace-9 and I'm convinced that I have a better hand than you do, but I don't want to induce a re-raise, I want to see a flop, I'm just going to flat call.
Okay. Okay, so now we're looking at a pot of 560. I can't like this flop very much. And keep in mind that we're talking about an online situation. I have to assume that if he's in the pot, he's either got a pocket pair or he's got an ace. So I'm not in love with this flop. I've got to assume my queens are probably no good at this point, but I have to know. Checking right here doesn't tell me anything. He can come over the top of me and take the pot away with any hand if I check. So what I've got to do here is bet for some information. I can't bet too low because he would call a low bet with basically anything. I don't want to bet too high and risk too many chips in the event that he does have an ace. So we've got a pot of 560. I'm going to bet 300 at it and see what happens.
Now at this point, with a $300 bet, I'm starting to think that he may have ace-king or a high pocket pair. So I'm wondering if my ace-9 is good. The other thing that I see on the board is a spade draw, which is a concern to me. But I still have top pair.
Correct. And most of the time, internet players are unable to get away from top pair.
Flat call.
Flat call. So we're looking at the turn. 7 of spades I like a little bit better because it gives me a flush draw. However, it does not give me the nut flush draw unless a king of spades comes on the river. So at this point, by the fact that he called my better than half pot bet on the flop, I assume probably 90 to 95% chance he's got an ace. I'm going to check on the turn because I don't want to commit any more chips. I would really like to see the river for free, but again, internet players will play any ace, and I have to assume that he has an ace and my queens are no good. So the turn's another 7. I didn't get my flush. I still have to assume that I'm beaten by another ace, but I got my free card, I got my wish, I'm checking the river. Too many internet players will bet right here because of the fact that my opponent checked on the turn. So they're going to assume weakness. But a lot of guys would check the turn with aces for various reasons. In his case, he checked the turn because he wasn't sure about his kicker. At this point, he feels more strongly about his hand because he has aces up. So I got to assume my queens are beat. I don't want to invest any more money in this pot. I check.
If he's got ace-king, I'm still up a creek, so I'm going to check that down. We show our hands, and aces take the pot.
Aces take the pot. Typical internet player gets too carried away with a high pair like queens, kings, or jacks and ends up losing when an ace turns up on the board because internet players will play any ace.
For more on how to not get stacked with a high pocket pair, visit internetpokercoach.com.
IPC dog!